Aiden said, everyone is focused on the excitement of March Madness brackets being revealed today. I guess you still say this wouldn't work for college football, though. From Frankfort, Kentucky, the capital of Kentucky. Aiden, you're not in here, so I guess I'm going to have to ask you a question and answer for you. If you're asking me if I'm saying that a 64-team playoff wouldn't work in college football, let me never have been more clearer than I'm about to be. Yes, I'm telling you a 64-team playoff wouldn't work for college football. I know that I am not talking to 98% of you right now, although I think most of you would be entertained by it just like I am responding to this sort of thing. This is my life. These are what some of my DMs look like. It's not just Outer Banks Season 4 plot suggestions, of which I am buried under right now. Inside joke, if you know, you know. But I get this a lot. I get this world of anytime something happens in another sport that even loosely resembles what someone has once upon a time asked for in college football, it doesn't matter how logically bankrupt it is. Someone comes and they wag their finger at me, and they never have their real name or their face in their profile, by the way, and they wag their finger and they say, I guess you say this still wouldn't work in college football. Who doesn't say that? Who out there is saying a 64-team playoff would work? So there are some nuance to be had here. So I'll follow you because there is a germ of a legitimate argument in this. But first, I'm going to wail away at the more ridiculous exterior of this argument because even expansionists don't want this. We have got a sizable portion of our audience that disagrees with me on college football playoff expansion and whether they would like it or not. I don't like it. Some of you would like it. Even those of you who would like it are in unison with me in saying, go sit by the garbage, Nathan. No one wants a 64-team college football playoff. Like 1% of us think that. And you would be terrified to know what other worldviews that 1% holds. So I welcome you. Subscribe to the channel while you're here. But the 99% of us, I think, understand that's ridiculous. You may want a 12-teamer or a 16-teamer or an 8-teamer, but virtually none of you want 64. So then, after Nathan has gone and sat by the garbage, then some other slightly more reasonable-minded folks come over and they wave at Nathan on the way by and they say, yeah, Josh, but you even say a 12-team college football playoff wouldn't work. And I have to stop you. I have to do the whole, I never said that. We had to have this little argument amongst ourselves the other day. Remember this? I never said that. If we can just look at that point in a bubble for a second, here's the bubble. If we could ever look at that point in the bubble, I think the 12-team college football playoff will be ultra exciting, especially the first few years. It'll be ultra exciting. The Selection Sunday, I guess we would have one of those like we do now. Very exciting. None of this I've ever suggested otherwise from. So then I guess maybe if you just heard me say I'm not for playoff expansion a second ago, you're saying, well, sure sounds like you're for playoff expansion. No, I've just always very simply pointed out it's not in a vacuum. It's not in a bubble. There's something you have to give up to get that. So as I promised you a month ago, I'm not relitigating all that. But whether it would work or not as a mechanism versus whether it works in meshing with what I think is the best for the sport, those are two different concepts. But we really always circle back to this thing that the 1%ers, the most casual amongst us this time of year do. They understand that it's a very, very entertaining time of year. It's the time of year for college basketball, and it's entertaining, and everyone gets into it. I mean, my sister will fill out a bracket, and she thinks Drake is some dude she was in second grade with. So everyone gets into March Madness, and therefore, some of the more casual-minded folks out there take it upon themselves to prey on the situation and leverage your emotion against you. And at the perfect time, watch and see what I tell you. Buzzer beater, round 1, 15, takes down 2. Someone's going to go on Twitter, as sure as I sit here, and they're going to say, imagine not wanting this in college football. And I'm just gonna go punch a wall somewhere. Imagine not wanting what in college football? That same person, of course, is, probably already typing with their elbows in all caps to begin with. But if I could have a nuanced conversation with that person, I would say, imagine not having this in college football. Hey, this 15 seed that just beat this 2 seed, What did you think about them in November? What was your favorite game they played in December? When did they start to round into form in January? Could you give me some of the high points of their February? And the answers would be, I don't know, probably not, no, and definitely no, because the first time most of you paid attention to that 15 seed was in late March when the tournament started. Because the very format of college basketball suggests that you don't have to pay much attention until March. I have never hated on college basketball, and I never will, because it's not the sport I cover. I'm entertained by it just like you are. I leave well enough alone. If that is what works for college basketball, that's what works for college basketball. I am never one of these people who grabs my little tom-tom and starts beating on it and saying, well, the NFL does it. Well, the NBA does it. Well, college basketball does it. There's no logic behind it. College basketball does what? College basketball plays on wood instead of grass. College basketball is round instead of shaped like football. Should we implement those changes? It works for them. Well, Josh, let's talk about football. Well, the NFL does this. Why shouldn't college football do it? Do you really want to follow that through to a logical conclusion and find out how dumb it is? Would you like trades? Do you want free agency? Kind of already have that in college football, but do you want trades? Do you want cuts? Do you want salary cap? Like, should we just institute everything? Do you want a kid to wake up one morning and Mike Gundy come in and say, Trevor, I've got to talk to you. You have been traded to FAU. You have until noon to pack your bags and get on a flight. It works in the NFL. So, yes, it is that time of year. And yes, I will be entertained right along with you. I just hope that we can all be adults enough. I'm gonna really go hard on the A there. Adults enough this time of year and every time of year to watch what's great about one sport and then just stop. Just enjoy it for being great and being that sport and not have to go all yaw and rah, 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 rah. I can't believe you don't want this in college football. Believe it, because I don't. And you don't either. You just don't know it yet. I handled it better this year than I did last year. Last year I just screamed, and I'm not a yeller. We all know that my voice will leave on a moment's notice. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video, and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.